Right. So from last session, we started with the supreme characters and the supreme attributes of that personality. The supreme attribute, we started with Vishwam, then Vishnu, then we have started listing out those qualities of supreme personality here. And we have seen in the first verse or first paragraph. Now comes the second paragraph where it is going to be Bhutatma. So the first one and second one, what is the difference? First one is Bhutatma. The second one is Bhutatma. So there is a difference. If it is in a Tamil letter, the same letter will be used in Tamil. So that is where where we don't have the difference, like because Pa and Pu in Tamil is same. So we have to differentiate with that. So in the previous paragraph, it is Bhu. Here it is Pu. Bhutatma, Paramatma cha, Muktanam Paramagatihi, Avyaya, Purusa Sakshi, Kshetra Nyo Kshara Evacha. Bhutatma, Paramatma cha, Muktanam Paramagatihi, Avyaya, Purusha Sakshi, Kshetra Nyo Kshara Evacha. Now let us go with the understanding of these characters, what is being described here. Here they are talking about Bhutatma. Bhutatma meaning he is a pure self. What do you mean by pure self? A self which has not been tainted, which has not been colored with any karmas. What does it mean? See, our Atmas, when it gets into this mundane life, we get into this kama, krodha, moha, madam, ascharya, lobhas. All these, we call it as the enemies of this mundane life, right? They are called Shad Ripus. Ripus means these are the enemies. Shad means six. So these are the six enemies for which, under which influence our mind, our intellect, everything gets into it. So for that, basically they will ruin our panchendriyas, like basically karmendriyas and jnanendriyas. They will get affected. And so what happens? Our Atma will be totally covered as a dust, right? So it is like covered as a dust. The purified, the pure soul is not visible. So that is what Adi Shankara says, it's a Maya, because the Maya, the illusion, is trying to close it. Okay? So it's very difficult because there's a human being. To get rid of this Maya is a big process in which we have to work for. Okay, so unless we get the Guru's blessing and then the divine's blessing is there, we can come out of it. It's not impossible, but we have to come out of it slowly and then get purified. But for the divine level, the soul, the self, is always pure. It has not been tainted with any of the impurities. Right? Because there is no karma bandhas for them. So that's why there is one of the sloka we say, na karma na prajayata nena tyage naike amardasmama nashuhu. So what does it mean? For the devatas, there is no karma. There is no prajas also. Prajas means they don't have any issues behind. Right? So they don't have any karmas. That is, there is no action behind you. And there is also no lineage for you to carry out. So, na karmana na prachayatanena. So, you are a devata means you don't have all these bondages. So, that is where they become more purified because they are clear. So, if there is a bondage, they have to have the problem. They don't have that bondage. They don't want to carry this bondage. So, everything they clear off. Right? Even if they live, they had to live like a detached life. Even in the Rama's life, you can see he was not much, he was out of his own children, like Lavakusha. And only the Sita has to indicate that these two are your children, right? So Sita has to say that. Until then, Rama himself doesn't know that they both are their own children. Even though they were reciting the same Ramayana in front of Rama, as Valmiki says, but still, he was not in that confirmation. And Sita comes there into the kingdom, into the palace, and then she only declares these two are our children. So then only he realizes that they are. So that means that is how their life is. So the divine doesn't get attached with all those things. Attachment is something makes ourself tainted. You understand? The attachment, the kama, the krodha, the moha, the lobhas, which makes you get into more and more bandham. Bandham means the attachment, right? So why the attachment comes? Because the desire. When the desire sparks, and then everything gets into picture. Why does the desire come? Because it is a maya. It is the mundane life nature. So the maya is something which is always there. The illusion is always there. We are always getting into the trap of that. So we cannot come out of it. So that is why divine personalities always they are out of it. They don't get into those tangles. Okay. So they are out of it. Paramatma. So next word. So the next character, what Vyasacharya is trying to say is next character is Paramatma. So he's not only pure, but he is supreme. Okay. See, para, apara. There are two things which we need to understand. See, para means always in the higher level. Para means higher level. That's why we say Parashakti, Paramatma. Okay. So when we say para means which is on the higher level, which is not on your plank, on your plane of thinking. Okay, understand? So we are living in one level of universal thinking. We are all living in this earthly life. We are living in this level of thinking there, right? So this level of earthly thinking and this level of earthly self, what we are called as Jivatmas. So this Jivatma is totally different from Paramatma. How it is different? Because the divine nature of Paramatma is totally different. How it is different? Because it is out of it. It is totally apart from it. All right? So it is always apart from it. So though it is a raw material, I did mention you that last class, it is a raw material. So it has created this universe. So it made itself. So when I say it means the divine, that Parabrahman, we don't know, the formless one, which made itself as a raw material. That's why we say Tattvamasi. Tattvamasi means which is higher. That is I am. So that is I am. So that is what we say. That means what? It is something like a thing what we are referring to. So that becomes the raw material, and then the raw material has created all this entire universe, right? So entire universe has started from here, from that creation, and goes and on and on and on. So the raw material remains, and then you can see that raw material is the raw material for other things also. So that has mixed into every level of creation, every level of creations, whatever, whether you talk about living or non-living things, it has penetrated everywhere and still penetrates, and it's going on. Though it has penetrated, it is everywhere, but still he's out of it, right? He's out of it. So he doesn't get mingled. He doesn't get entangled. So that's where we always say he is a Paramatma. He's on the higher side, right? So this is where we have to understand why he is Paramatma. There are certain qualities for the Paramatma which has been defined beautifully by Radhakrishna Shastrigal in his commentary. Number one is, he says he is Nitya Vastu. What does Nitya mean? He's always there. So certain qualities for your divine which we need to understand. He is a Nitya Vastu. Nitya Vastu means he is always there, omnipresent, omniscient. There is something which you cannot say today he is present, tomorrow he is not present. See, you can close the door of a temple. That doesn't mean that God is not there. Am I right? You can close the temple door. You can close the prahara. You can say Padmanabha Swami temple in Trivandrum is there. It doesn't mean that if you close the temple, the God is not there. The divine is always there. The energy is always there, right? He is always a Nitya Vastu. He is always there. He is omnipresent. He is everywhere. He is omnipresent. Nitya. Next one, Shuddha. He is very pure. He is always there with purity. So he is always there. He has a purity form. Buddha. He is much more connected with your wisdom. He is more as a wisdom. He is more of a jnana, right? He is more about a jnana. Wisdom is different from the knowledge what we gain. Knowledge is from our mundane material materialistic thinking, right? So knowledge or skills, what you learn through a theory or through a book, which is totally different from the wisdom. Wisdom is totally a different parlance we are talking about. So Buddha means he is with wisdom. And then Mukta, and he is the person who is always liberated. See how many characters he is narrating. See, he is the Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta. So he is very liberated soul. He is liberated. And then what is he? He is Swabhavaha. Swabhavaha means he is as it is. He is as real. He is as natural. So this is the very important essence of the divine. And this is the very important essence what we need to understand. Be as you are. Be as you are. Be what you are. You don't need to imitate like someone. This is a beautiful life lesson what we need to know. You don't need to imitate like someone. You don't be mimicking someone's life. You be as what you are. You be as what you are. Because people always say there is something which we need to rectify. There is a weakness. There is something. And also we try to spot the problems with other people's also. There is a beautiful proverb they say, accept as it is. Accept as it is. If you go with that proverb, there is neither any problem in our life. The problem, it's a beautiful life lesson. So that is why we say Swabhavaha. Swabhavaha means it's as natural as it is. It's very natural. Okay. So these are the qualities which is listed there. So he has all these attributes that makes him the Paramatma. That is why he is called as a Paramatma. Right? So all these gets into the Paramatma level. But these levels are not for us or not for the Jivatma level. For the Jivatma like us, we are not omnipresent. We are bound by space and time. We can connect, but that doesn't mean that I am everywhere. I cannot be, but it is only the divine attributes which can be everywhere. Correct? Even for a small Nitya, it is not possible. For a human being's life, human bodily life, it is not at all possible. So it is very important to understand the attributes of the divine, what makes him Paramatma. So these are the qualities which are defined. These are the attributes defined so that it differentiates him from us. So now the third one, the next one which says, Muktanam Paramagatihi. Muktanam Paramagatihi. Gati means the at last, the ultimate goal. Okay? Ultimate goal. Paramagatihi means there is no other alternative. That is the end. That is the end. Okay? There is a goal and that is the end for us. That is the Paramagati. And what is that? Muktanam Paramagati. What is that? Mukta. Mukta means liberation. So liberation is the only ultimate goal, that which is granted by him. He is already in that stage. He can only grant it. Okay? He can only grant it. So no other person can give that mukta. Why? Because in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, there are 4 types of devotees. 4 types of devotees comes to me. One is called Artha. Next one is called Artharthi. Third one is called Mumukshu. Then the 4th one is Jnani. So what is this? Artha. This fellow will only go to the God when he has a problem. Okay, when there is a problem, we will go and knock the door of the temple. We do all the abhishekam, we do pariharas, we do everything. We only suddenly realize that the God is there and then we do everything. And then we celebrate the God. When there is a problem to me. Otherwise, I don't even say goodbye. I don't say anything. I don't mind whether he is available or not. I don't even worry about it. So this is called Artha. This is beautifully said, because see how Lord Krishna has already understood right now in this Kali Yuga how the people will be. Right? He has really classified this and he has given it. And it is true, because we will fall into some of these categories here. So one is Artha. So we only go for God for some materialistic person. So I have a problem, I go there, I have a dealing with you, I will do this pongal, I do this, I will break this coconut, you settle my problem. So that is called artha. Next one is artharthi. This fellow will celebrate the god because he has to give him every time something. So whatever he gives, he is not enough. He will go for more and more and more. So always he demands to the god. So first fellow, at least, whenever there is a problem, he goes. This fellow will definitely go daily, but his only thinking is ask him for some more. There is no limit for it, right? There is no limit for it. So that is second one, artharthi. Third one is called mumukshu. Mumukshu is a stage where you have achieved something. Now you are trying to see what is the purpose of your life. I have got all the materialistic things, whatever I want, I have run through, I have got a beautiful car, I have got a beautiful house, not 1, 2, 3 investment properties, so much I have, everything. I have earned my fame, I have earned my name, I'm known here, whatever I want, I have done. So in my life, I have seen some of the things. Now, what is next? What is the purpose of our life? So we are trying to understand that. So that referral stage, right? Exploring stage. It's called mumukshu, who wants to understand more on the life purpose, more than the materialistic pursuit. It's called mumukshu. And the fourth one is called jnani. Who is jnani? Who is beyond all this. So this type of category was even given by Lord Krishna himself when he talks to Arjuna, saying that, Krishna, Arjuna, there are 4 types of devotees to me. So there are people who come with all these types of devotion to me. So I know how the devotees are. So why I am saying is, Paramagatihi, who can go for Paramagatihi? Only the Mumukshu will try, and also only the Jnani will try for it. So Artharthi, for them, it is beyond their scope of understanding. Because Muktaha is not in their purview. It is not in their scope. It is not in their radar or syllabus. So for them, it is nothing, because they are still in the wanting stage. They want. So they are going only in search of wanting something, materialistic thinking. But these two people, at least they are trying to think about beyond this materialistic life. But the Muktaha, liberated, they already achieved something. Their wisdom has gone beyond this mundane life, relative life. They have gone a little bit connected with the absolute. They are in that bhakti level, and then they have got that ecstasy. Their consciousness is getting more and more elevated. Their thinking is totally different. They are only waiting for the day to come to liberate. So now you can understand who is going to go and hit that. So it is only people who wants to get into that stage of self-realization, they are going to understand. So the divine quality is ready to give that. The divine quality is ready to give, because the people say, the God is always like that. So the beautiful analogy is given. See, one grandson and the grandmother, they were in a home. Those days when, if you remember in the village side, when there is a rain, they will always catch this fresh water, and then they have a pot, or they have a vessel, like a silver vessel where they have a pot vessel or something. All right, so they will collect the rainwater because it's a pure water, and then they will use for drinking or cooking or any other purpose. Okay, so it was raining at the night. So the grandmother called the grandson and told, Ray, there are some pots. Go and keep the pots. The pots are there in the kitchen. Go and keep the pots out, in the open space. Remember, there is an open space usually in the village side. So where the rainwater comes there in purified one, and then you can collect it. And tomorrow morning we can use it. Go and keep it. So this grandson told yes. And then he went and he kept it and came back. And then grandmother was asking, did you keep the vessels? He said, yes. The next day morning, when the grandmother opens the door and when she goes to that open space to see, because the rain has stopped, and then she wants to go and see whether the pot is there. Yeah, he has kept the pot. The problem is he has kept the pot upside down so that nothing has gone in. So it is upside down so that no water has gone in. If it is open, then the water can be catched. It is upside down. So the vessel is upside down. So no water goes in. So it is totally waste that they have wasted the rainwater. What is the understanding is God's devotion is showering like anything. We are ready to give you the liberation. We are like upside down pot, not to collect that liberation stage. We all are like upside down parts. Our thoughts are upside down. Our manas is upside down. Our chintana is upside down. We are not ready to collect him. We are not ready to open our windows, open our heart to try to welcome him inside us. So that is where the problem is. Why we are not connecting, why we are not getting the divine ecstasy. This is the problem, because we are not clear. We are not open to him. So we are upside down. So our mind has to be tilted. Our mind has to go into a trance. So then only we can get and catch that liberation. So muktanam paramagati. So what does it mean? The liberation is granted by him. It is available. Adi Shankara says liberation is available for everyone. It's not by my words. Adi Shankara given that word. Jnanaha is possible. It is possible. And he said this statement very openly. If Adi Shankara says, that means definitely I have to accept it, because I am nothing. So he says that Acharya says greatly, it is available. But only thing is you need to open your mind, open your jnana. You have to go to that wisdom level. Okay. So muktanam paramagadihi avyayaha. Avyayaha. What is avyaya? Vyaya means, this is a beautiful Sanskrit understanding. Vyaya means there is some demerits. Okay, there is some demerits. So there is some disadvantage or some defect. Maybe we can say there is a defect. Vyayam means defect. So in Sanskrit, if you put an akshara a in front of it, so it connotes the opposite of it. So there is a avyaya, that means it is not vyayam. Okay, avyaya, that means it is not a demerit, and it doesn't have any. That means this Atma, this divine personality, doesn't have any defect. So you cannot say there is a defection in God. Can you say that there is a defect in God? No. I'm not talking about the Sharira. I'm not talking about the physical feature of the God. I am talking about the nature, how the divine presence itself. There is no defection at all. So can you differentiate between the mother's love? If a mother is pure and she's showering the love, if she has 5 children and she's showering her love towards the children, is there a difference? Because mother love doesn't have any difference in it. So mother's love is same. Same way, a God's grace is also same. It doesn't matter, right? See, Annamaya, in one of his Kirtana, Annamaya is one of the famous Telugu Kirtan person. He says, the sun is glowing. For a sun to glow, a dustbin is same, right? The sun is on the top of your head. Say, for example, 12 o'clock. I'm talking about the summer is going to come soon. The sun is on top of our head. Sun glows and you get the radiance and heat and everything. It doesn't have any difference between a dustbin, a garbage bin, or a plant, or a field, or an ocean, or any human being, or a stray street dog, or a street cat. Doesn't matter. It's the same radiance. It's the same heat. It's the same thing. There is no difference in it. It has the same impact, right? It showers the same thing. If it is rain, it rains everywhere. If it rains to our city, it rains everywhere. It doesn't matter whether it is a tree, whether it's a plant, whether it's you put a stool outside, you put a chair outside, you kept your car outside. Doesn't matter. It doesn't stop for you. It doesn't stop for other person. It is the same. So that means what? They doesn't have any defect at all. They doesn't have any defect at all. They don't have any difference in it. There is no discrimination in it. That's what we say defective. So God, divine qualities, doesn't have any defection. So if it is a defection, it is Vayam. If doesn't have a defection, it is Avyaya. Avyayam. So here we say that God doesn't have any such defection. So see how divine qualities have been defined here. Bhutatma, Paramatma, ja Muktanam Paramagati. Avyaya, Purusha. Who is Purusha? Beautifully said, Adi Shankara says, Are your body is considered to be Pura. Your body, your physical body is Puram. Your physiology is Puram. Navadvara Puram. Okay, so you have 9 openings, and that is called as a Puram. And who is inside? The indweller in it, right? In the indweller in that body, that is what we say Atma. Your consciousness is nothing but Purusha. So he is Purusha. He is the biggest, right? He is the Purusha. So Purusha means one who resides inside you. One who is inside you. He is an indweller. He is an indweller. Mostly he is intangible. So the quality of that consciousness, if you want to say it's a consciousness, yes. If you say being, yes, you can define it any terms. Whatever the saints and Maharishis has given. It is basically the Atma. The Atma Swarupam and the Atma Darshanam, or the nature of the Atma, is beautifully defined in the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna defines how that being is, how you can say Nainam Chintayanti. So it cannot be wet, it cannot be split, it cannot be thrown in the fire. It is so smallest of smallest, it is the biggest of biggest. So he defines beautifully, he defines everything. So how subtler? It can be very subtler. And if you think it is subtler, it is big and big. So it is something like that, so which is beyond our comprehension to think about. So that is what we say he is inside. So he is inside everyone, right? He is inside everyone. The point is, everyone has to realize that indweller. Everyone has to realize that indweller, so that you connect with that indweller, right? So sometimes only certain things will connect. Sometimes certain energies can connect. That's why you can even find out certain type of God or certain temples, you may have certain energy that connects with you. It may not appear for you with every temple when you go. Okay, I'm not saying that there is a different thing. Yes, there is a different vibrations and all, but still that vibration for your physiology, certain things will only match in certain type of places where you are. All right, it doesn't connect with everywhere. Whenever you go to every temple, whenever you go to everywhere, you're not going to connect it and may not be vibrating same. So there are certain vibration which you only get in certain place. All right. So why? Because maybe that is very much resonating with your Atma, very much resonating with you with that vibration, positive vibration. Okay. So that is something which is beyond our scope of here. But what is Purusha is indweller, who is inside you. Who is inside you. Draupadi realized that, right? She realized that because one of the question which was posed to Krishna, all right? So when it was posed after the Bharatam is done, after the Mahabharata Yuddha was done, and then Krishna was sitting, and then this question was posed by some of the saints. They are basically those days press meet peoples, right? So press meet, they are conducting the press meet. So one of the question was posed, why Krishna, in Draupadi, when she was crying for you in the Sabha. So when Tuchadana is trying to, get her robe, disrobe her, why you didn't come? Why you didn't come? Because she's trying to call you, right? Why you didn't come? He was just looking at the press fellow, and then the saint, and Krishna told, what are the names she was chanting, so that tell me what are the names she was chanting. He told, he called you a Dwaraka Vasa. Think about Hastinapuram is in Delhi. Dwaraka is somewhere near Gujarat. So what is the distance? Think about the distance what I need to travel and come there. So it is a long distance for me. That's why I cannot come. And she said, hey, Madhurapuri Vasha. Yeah, that is also a little distance for me. It's for there from Mathura to come here, and also distance and all those things. So he was giving lot of thinking, and then he was talking about the distance. Remember, it is not about the divinity, about the distance. Remember, for him there is no distance, but he is talking about distance. Mean we need to understand how we distance ourselves with the God, right? So this is the idea what we need to get. See, that's why Mahabharatam is content with fully pregnant with many, 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 many moral understanding for our life. So the understanding here is we distance ourselves from the God. So by saying that, oh, you are there, oh, you are here, you are there, right? So those are the things, those are the names chanted by Draupadi. Now, Draupadi at the last moment, there is nothing to happen because almost Duryodhana is going to disrobe her. Almost, it's everything gone. She was trying to hold the last bit of the cloth which is going to go out from her body. So what she did, she started putting her hand up on her head, and then she said, "Ye Hritaya Kamala Vasa." Ye Hritaya Kamala Vasa. Beautiful statement. Understand this word. Ye Hritaya Kamala Vasa, one who is indweller in my heart. And Krishna told, that is where I just came in, because she never distanced me. She never distanced me. She felt that I am there. So that essence of understanding that the God is within you. So that's what it's called Purusha. When you read this Nama tomorrow, you should understand he is the indweller. He is the indweller. He is within me, within me, within me. Purusha. The next name, next Nama is Sakshi. He is a witness for everything what has happened. He is witness. So whatever he does, it is under his purview. Whatever he does, it is with his own camera eyes, he's seeing it. He knows what has happened. He knows what are all the things going on. All right? Everything. Only thing is we are not able to cognize. That doesn't mean that he is not present. Understand? So the energy is everywhere. Energy is everywhere. But the problem is we are not cognizing. That doesn't mean the divine is not present everywhere. Divine is always present. It is abundant. It is open everywhere. Correct? As you need air, as you need that, he is always present. So we say omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent. Everything comes under that name. So he is Sakshihi. Kshetrajño kshara evacha. In that Kshetrajña. Kshetraha means field. So what is the field what we are talking about? Supposing if you have a farmland. So what is your aim if you are into an agricultural occupation? So if you have a land, farmland, what you do? So you will try to clean up all the mess, try to make sure the land is fertile. You put the fertilizer, or you want to bring the organic things and whatever you want to make it fertile, the land fertile, get out all those grasses and weeds out of it, and make sure the water irrigation is very good. Mostly, some of you might seen in villages, right? So you have definitely seen and experienced this agricultural planting and everything. How do they plow it? You see, they plow. They take that that axe, and then they'll do that, and then they make the land more clear for the grains to get into it and all, right? So then they will sprinkle the grains and paddy grains or whatever they want, or they want to plant those type of grains or whatever they are thinking. So whatever they want to bring in, they will do it. So what they are doing with the land? They are trying to make the land fertile. They are trying to make the land cultivable. All right? It's ready for cultivation. That doesn't mean that means that they are doing some hard work to make this land fertile. Same way, you have a land, you have a field, which is your body. Are we trying to cultivate this body to make it more fertile with the devotion of the God? That is the question. So if you are doing it, then you are a Kshetrajna. Because your body becomes the field of receiving that God vibration. The fertility is nothing but it's the God's grace. If we are ready to have that, our body as a field to receive it, and we cultivate our body in such a way we receive the devotion of the God directly, the divine showers into our body right away. So there we are successful. So that is where we say Kshetram, or the field where he gets into. So that's why we always say that anytime, right? So beautiful proverb goes like this. It's one of the writer in Tamil, he has written that. See, you clean your house, open your window, clean your window, open your window. We don't know when the wind will come. Let the breeze come in. Same way, clean your body, open your heart. We don't know when the divine can step into you. But be prepared. So be prepared with your body to make your body prepared so that he can step in any moment so that your body will become the Kshetrajna to receive him. Next one is Akshara. Akshara means in Sanskrit we say letters. Okay, letters. Letters is called Aksharam. Now what does it mean? Ksharaha means that which depreciates. Akshara, that which not depreciate. Why? Letter is called Aksharam because we are not talking about the letter what we are writing. We are talking about the meaning of that letter. Meaning of that. So when you put 2 or 3 letters together, join and makes a meaning, right? That meaning is not deteriorating. The meaning is same. The meaning doesn't go depreciated. So meaning is always there. So that's why we say, when you say a word, a meaning is also delivered with it. Can you separate your meaning in a word? Is it possible? This is not my question. This is the question posed by Kabir Kalidasa in his Raghuvamsha. He says, as to deliver a word, as it is not separable, it is impossible for you to separate the word and the meaning. Same way, he says, same way, in this universe, there are 2 forces, silence and dynamism cannot be separated. Vakarta vipasambrukto vahatta pradipattaye jakatappitaro vandhe parvati parameshwaro. This is Kalidasa, Saint Kalidasa's beautiful word. As you are talking about the Vak artha vipasambrukto. So as you cannot separate the word and the meaning. When a word is delivered, meaning is also delivered in it. You cannot separate. Same way, this world, this entire universe cannot be separated from silence and dynamism, which is nothing but the embodiment of Shiva and Parvati. Parvati Parameshwaro. So the entire world is filled with them. So that is the energy level what we are talking about. So that's what we are saying. Akshara means when you say a word, the meaning is connoted. The meaning has been given to you. So meaning doesn't get depreciated. The meaning doesn't get deteriorated. Am I right? So that's why it's called Aksharam. Anything which doesn't depreciate, Akshara. Anything that which doesn't depreciate, Akshara. Anything which depreciate, Ksharaha. Ksharaha. Okay? So we can understand. So this is the beautiful understanding what we are getting out of this meaning. So he is the Sakshi, he is the Paramatma, he is the pure person. So to understand beautifully this entire divine quality here, let me tell you one beautiful story from Bhagavata Purana, where we talk about Bhagavatam, and also in Mahabharatam also there is a reference about this story. So when the Gopikas, there was a saint called Durvasa, as I told you last session also, who is Durvasa, his name is called Krota Pattarika. So he told that he needs food. So Gopikas have cooked the food and they need to go to the other side. All right. They need to go to the other side. When they come to that river, because it's a river and then you have to cross the river, and then there is a kutil there. On the opposite side, the kutil, the Durvasa is staying. So Gopikas comes to the river side and then they see that the river is overflowing. Basically, it's a flood. Now Krishna is there. So they're saying, Krishna, do something. So I have to cross and then I have to go there. And then I have to feed Durvasa because Durvasa is hungry, so he gets he gets irritated when the things are not being served on time. Krishna says, very good, go to the Yamuna because it's Yamuna. Yamuna is overflowing, right? So go to Yamuna and say the word what I'm saying. So this is where we have to understand. These are all the things which we need to ponder, which we need to think and reflect about the story, moral, and everything. He says, go to the Yamuna, to the bank of the Yamuna, stand at the bank of the Yamuna, say to the Yamuna, if Krishna is the Nitya Brahmachari, please give me the way. See the statement. If Krishna is a Nitya Brahmachari, that means what? He is bachelor. Okay? So everyone will be surprised with this statement. But Gopikas listening to that, they gone to the Yamuna bank and then they give that as a slokam, whatever Krishna told, they said, the Yamuna gave way. Yamuna gave way. So then they can walk on without any disturbance. They can go to Durvasa and then they can feed Durvasa. Durvasa ate sumptuously. He said, I'm Paramananda, Paramatripti, everything is done. And then when they come and then now they said, we have to cross. Again, this flood is going on. What I can do, Durvasa, you have to tell. He says, go to the same Yamuna, say to that water, say that if Durvasa is really hungry, open. What a contradictory statement, right? So here Krishna says, if Krishna is Nitya Brahmachari, open and pay me the way. Now, Durvasa says, if Durvasa, if I'm really hungry, give me the space. And they say this word, they utter this word, and then the entire flood is stopped and the motion of water is stopped, the pathway is created, then they are able to come and cross. But still they were thinking, they were so surprised. Krishna is known for his Rasa Leela, and Durvasa, they know that they have fed him so much, right? Everyone cooked and they have fed him so much. And Durvasa says, if Durvasa is hungry, so what stage these two peoples are referring, what these two individuals are referring on the Atmic level. Krishna is a Nitya Brahmachari. On the Atmic level, Durvasa is still hungry. That's what he was searching, the divine. So that's what they were talking about. The reverberation is about the Atmic level, not about the physiological level. So that is where they differentiate between the others, right? So divine qualities more refer to the higher level, the supreme level of the personality. So that is basically what here we talked about. The entire verse is all talking about the divine attributes, the divine qualities of the self. So Jivatma, Paramatma, we can understand the Paramatma, how the Paramatma is pure, how it can grant mukta, how it can be a sakshi, how it can give you all those things, even though it is in the mundane life, how it doesn't get dirtied or doesn't get tainted with all these karmas or anything. Nothing is going to impact it. That's why it is always pure. It stays as it is. It is swabhava, it is nitya, sutta, bhutta, mukta, swabhavika. All these things are possible only with that divine quality. So that is basically what Vyasa is saying. Beautiful. And this entire Paratattva of this Atma and the Paramatma level is highly, it has been given as, like cantos and sargas in the Bhagavatam also, in Narayani slokams also. Beautiful renditions have been done by the great saints about this particular divine qualities. All right, so that's basically what has been narrated here also by Vyasa here when he talks about the supreme personality here. Okay. So I will stop here. Here Sakayena vacha manasendriyarva buddhyatmana bhat prakrite swabhavat karomi yatyat sakalam parasmai narayanayeji samarpayami यदक्षरपदप्रष्टं मात्राहीनं तु यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतादेव नारायण नमोऽस्तुते। विसर्गबिन्दुमात्राणि पदपादाक्षराणि च न्यूनानि चातिरिक्तानि क्षम्यस्व पुरुषोत्तम। अन्यदाचरणं नास्ति त्वमेव चरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष जनार्दन। हरिः ओं तत्सत्। इति श्रीरामकृष्णार्पणमस्तु। स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्य परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषां को ब्राह्मणेभ्य शुभमस्तु नित्यं। समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु। समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु। समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु।